ॐ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hari Om children, I am AJ Purnima and I am going to talk about the famous phrase, slow and steady wins the race. Where have I heard that? Oh yeah, the Hare and Tortoise story. I grew up listening to that story all my childhood, and as an adult I have been telling this story also as a great moral to children. That's how it's been passed on from generation to generation, isn't it? Why not? It is really a great moral story. It emphasizes the value of persistence and dedication. But one day I felt, I'm a journalist and my job is to poke my nose into everyone's affairs. So one day I thought, but what about the hare? No one has ever bothered to ask that hare his side of the story. How did he feel about losing the race because of his laziness? Was it really laziness or something else? What did his mom tell him when he got home? What lessons did he learn? So these questions bothered me for a long time, and finally, you know what I did? I tracked down the address of this Mr. Hare, and I met him one fine sunny morning. Mr. Hare was now a wise old guy with grey hair. I believe he used to be brown, now he had become grey. So Mr. Hare welcomed me very warmly and thanked me for visiting him. At last, he said. His voice was quite high-pitched, I thought. At last, someone has bothered to listen to my side of the story. So Mr. Hare was very happy. Then he offered me tea and told me to ask him questions. And so we settled down for a heart-to-heart talk. Mr. Hare, do you recall being disappointed that fateful day when you fell asleep in the middle of a race? Why did you sleep? Were you overconfident of your speed? Or did you underestimate your rival, the tortoise's speed? This was my first question. Mr. Hare took a deep breath and started talking. No, I did not get lazy or complacent. Let me explain. I was very excited about the race, and I hopped over the meadows near the hills like I always did, and looked back to see how my rival was progressing. The tortoise was nowhere to be seen. Aha, I said to myself, I am way ahead. I have a healthy lead, so I can easily take a short nap under the large banyan tree near the pond. You see, my dear lady, the hare said to me, I had spent a sleepless night in anticipation of the race the next day. For days that old tortoise had boasted about his ability to plod slowly for hundreds of miles without stopping. He always used to say, life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So I wanted to show him that I could run both far and fast. I could do both the marathon and the sprint. And so I sprinted for a while, and then I got tired. And the shade of the tree, the banyan tree which I selected, was like an umbrella. I found a comfortable rock, I covered it with grass, and what did I do? I turned it into a pillow. As I closed my eyes, I could hear the leaves rustling and the bees buzzing and the breeze blowing lightly. Naturally, I drifted off to sleep. And soon, I started dreaming too. Then I saw myself drifting on a log in a beautiful stream of water. As I came near the shore, I found an old man with a flowing beard sitting on a rock in a meditative pose. As I neared him, he opened his eyes and smiled. And he asked, "Who are you?" "I'm a hare," I said. "I'm running a race." "Why?" he asked. "To prove to all the creatures in the jungle that I'm the fastest." "Oh, but why do you want to prove that you're the fastest?" "So that I get a medal which will give me status, which will give me money, and which will get me food." "There's already so much food around you," the sage pointed out in the forest in the distance. "Look at all those trees laden with fruits and nuts, all those leafy branches, all those carrots. You love carrots, don't you?" I was not deterred. I said, "I also want respect, Mr. Sage. I want to be remembered as the fastest hare who ever lived." The sage laughed. "Do you know the name of the fastest deer or the largest elephant or the strongest lion who lived 1,000 years before you?" "Well, no." "And today you have been challenged by a tortoise. Tomorrow a snake might challenge you. Then it will be a zebra. Will you keep running a race all your life to prove that you are the fastest?" Oh, this question had me foxed. I didn't think about it. And then I thought hard. And then I replied, "No, I don't want to race all my life." "Okay, so what do you want to do?" "I want to sleep under a banyan tree on a makeshift pillow while the leaves rustle and the bees buzz," I said happily. "And I want to hop over the meadows near the hills and swim in the ponds." The sage smiled. "You can do all these things this very moment, my dear fellow. Forget the race. You are here today, but gone tomorrow. Enjoy the little things in life while they last." Then suddenly I woke up from my sleep and I was feeling warm and happy. The ducks in the pond, they also looked very happy. I jumped into the pond and startled them and I laughed. The ducks, they looked at me questioningly and they asked, "Hey, weren't you supposed to be racing with the tortoise today?" I told them, "Very wise. It's pointless. I don't want to prove anything to anyone. A hare cannot be slow like a tortoise, and a tortoise cannot run like a hare. I just want to be myself without pressure or without guilt, okay? Yes, I know I will lose the race today, but it doesn't matter. I'm peaceful and I'm happy now. I have got back my life." And so the hare finished telling his story and looked at me. My dear journalist madam, I'm so happy you came to interview me. I was hoping someone will tell the world my part of the story. All these years, people have been using me as a bad example. I agree it's good to be slow and steady in life, no doubt. It's a wonderful quality to succeed in a chosen goal. But do not forget to rest a bit. Do not forget to stop to smell the flowers and admire the beauty of nature around you. Finally, life is neither a marathon nor a 100-meter sprint. It's not about winning or losing. Life is a beautiful journey to be enjoyed leisurely and differently by each of us. So saying, the hare got up. "It's time for my evening stroll with my friends. See you, ta-da," he said, and he hopped away happily. So friends, that's the hare's version of the story. I, for one, was very glad that he did not become depressed for life after losing that race, but he had rather found happiness instead. So how did you find this story, my children? Do tell me. Okay? Until next time, let's close with a prayer. असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्